right, let's start. Welcome, good afternoon to the audience here, to our second edition of our strategy and event outlook for 2023. My name is Matthias Hauscher. I'm the chairman of the Swiss American Chamber, Southern California. And I'm very delighted to have such a big audience joining us here. The next 35 minutes, we're going to spend to actually give you an overview of why are we doing things here, what are the drivers behind, how are we doing efforts to kind of engage in certain topics within the different markets, who are the drivers behind that, who are taking which people are taking the lead to drive certain efforts, and also then showcase how can you engage if this is going to be of interest of yours. We have quite a good amount of existing board members today here as well with me. They will introduce themselves and their charter during the next 30 minutes so that you get also personally get to know them a little bit more. Now, we have a couple different kind of fields of play that we want to show you. First of all, kind of our strategy, how we are actually partnering with different market players and what type of services and offerings we are putting in the market. And also then in a third kind of part, when are our kind of major milestones happening in terms of events that are addressing different demands, intentions that we are seeing, that we are sensing in the market, and how that is going to be conducted within 2023. At the end, I hope we have a couple minutes left for Q&A that whomever is then the right person from our board that can be of help and answer for you there as well. Now, having said that, I want to actually jump right into this. And what is the reason to believe? Why are we doing this? So, as you might know, some of you know, Switzerland is one of the largest foreign direct investors in the United States. Depending on the geography that you look at, California or the US overall, we are number 5 and number 6. That means, related to the size of the economy and the people Switzerland is, we punch in a weight class that is actually far below average, right? We are higher ranked than Spain, France, so really heavy hitters in the European economy. So Switzerland is really present in the US. Now, what does that mean for Southern California? You should think, I mean, there are 20 million people live here between LA and San Diego, and the GDP of SoCal is almost $2 trillion, even a little bit more than that. So you could think that Switzerland has a significant presence here, right? In terms of what is this market about? How can we participate? How can our enterprises actually get traction here, improve how they go to market, being better embedded and established? But that's not existing, or at least it hasn't been existing when I moved here a couple of years ago. So from the very first moment, I had this kind of vision that I shared then with a couple of my colleagues here, that we need to build a new hub, a new kind of network where we combine forces to bring interested folks that want to either do business out of Switzerland within Southern California, or are already doing business here but want to improve, want to accelerate, want to excel in doing business, but also being a window of opportunity for our so-called business partners, academic partners, governmental relations, that they look at what is possible actually when we further increase our collaboration with Switzerland in very different kind of contexts. Could be academics, could be on the investment side, could be on the enterprise side. That's our vision. And we have kind of the mantra for this year, alone or individual, we are a drop, right? But together we are an ocean. So it's really about what we're building here is to unite and combine forces, because as a crowd, as a as a team, we are much stronger in the market, we are more proficient in the market, and we can achieve more or better or in a shorter amount of time. So we see ourselves, what we're doing, as a window of opportunity, no matter if you want to do business out of Southern California and Switzerland or vice versa. Now,
hey Matt, sorry for the interruption. I don't see the slide deck here. Does everybody see the slide deck?
Yeah, no slide deck, just a black screen.
Okay.
oh,
So, Matt, you have to bring up the slide. So I tried to.
so I'm very sorry about that. Wait a second, I do resume.
For me, it just says it's loading.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, let me quickly maybe do it again and see what's happening then. So what do you see? Do you see click to exit full screen?
Yeah, that's what we see right now.
Okay, sorry about that.
There we go.
Yeah, better.
Now you can see a slide. Okay, I'm gonna share. Oh, wait a second. Sorry about that. Can you see now? Big?
Nope.
Not yet. No, still loading.
Oh, okay. So that seems to be some issue.
Just leave it in that preview mode.
I'll leave it like this. Huh?
Perfect.
All right, good. So our mission is, besides bringing those different kind of interested stakeholders together, is of course that we kind of facilitate, right, exchange in a very particular way, and facilitate exchange about what makes you really successful in each other's market, right? And we think that there are three components of success that you need to master to get market traction, no matter if it's a new market or if it's an existing market. It's on one hand, access. You need to have access somehow to the right people, even if it's talent, if it's money, if it's IP, strategic partnerships, whatever it is. So it's not about just networking, it's building up relationships that are of value. So we see us as a facilitator for that. The second part is, even if you have an audience, let's say, that you actually can promote and position what you're standing for, but you need to be proficient about that, right? You need to understand what the audience wants, what is particular about the audience. If the audience is in LA or in San Diego or in Zurich or in Geneva, there are a lot of very, very, let's say, specific attributes that you want to know in advance. So we're going to provide those insights, right? By either connecting to the right people or by instantly delivering you insights, intelligence, information, data, whatever form it has. And then the third part that we are convinced that actually kind of ramps up that whole set of key success factors is about skills or knowledge, right? So if you have an audience, right, that wants to buy and you have a good product, but you still need to be able to actually have the story right, have the right structure, have it in the right time, have it tailored accordingly to your audience, right? And we have with dozens or hundreds of peers that we can bring together. There is always a subject matter expert. There is always somebody that has those skills that actually you can leverage from, you can learn from, and these people are open to share. So those three components are the ones that are kind of the foundational layer for all those efforts that we are going to put in place. What those efforts then actually are, that you go, and how they are going to be built out, that you will see in the strategy piece. So important for you as a takeaway: access, so a larger audience to talk to, more feedback and guidance, right? More opportunities that you can identify because you have more reach. Insights, you understand the market better, you reduce the risks of failing, and you increase the time to market because you don't go down rabbit holes. And the third thing is skills. You get the right skill sets, either yourself, through talents, whatever it is, to tailor it, what you're doing, that you get your word out in the right way. Those three areas I like to have you to take as a key takeaway here. Now, how are we going to execute in bringing those three kind of success factors to our audience, to our group here? We focus actually on these three different layers or fields of play. On one hand is content driven, where we have our focus domains that we see are the most promising for, on one hand, a tremendous growth in both markets, right, in Southern California and in Switzerland, for several reasons, because of we have policies in place, we have consumer personas that are the right way, we have universities, we have venture capital available that exactly invests in that field, so big correlation. Geographies is another one, right? We have 4 different geographies to address. And then, of course, for us, the key importance are strategic alliance partners. Now, to go a little bit deeper into this part, I think Veronica has joined, right? I want to hand over to my vice chair and friend Veronica to give you a little bit more details on this.
Thank you, Matt. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our call. Yes, so this slide really depicts how we structure our chamber. It is almost like a matrix where the focus is on different subject matter domains. And they have been selected according to the relevance for both Southern California as well as the Swiss market. They are technology, new economy oriented, because that is sort of the focus, not just of the chamber, but of the both the Southern California and Switzerland. You will hear from 2 heads today. So each domain has a head here at the chamber that's sort of the subject matter expert, both in terms of the content as well as access and relationship, professional experience, etc. This is our initial selection. This year, we're going to market with these domains, but the question mark at the bottom there shows that we are always open to more input, to new domains if they fit the overall strategy. Second, we have reps per region. So in each geography, we have one person basically representing and implementing the chamber strategy in that market. So we have somebody in LA County, that's Christoph Besmer. We have Orange County represent as well, of course, San Diego and the Inland Empire. Last but not least, access again is critical, and to that end, we are creating and fostering relationships with all these stakeholders. So we work with corporations both in Southern California as well as Switzerland, with universities. We are reaching out and creating liaisons with all kinds of business associations, etc. And that is all to create these ecosystems around the domains. So with that, perhaps Arash, you are here today. Arash heads up the clean and ecotech domain. We had our very first domain meetup last fall around that topic. So perhaps you can go into a little bit more detail for us, Arash.
Sure. Thank you, Veronica. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
All right. Hey, everyone. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining this event. So if you want to find the two pioneers in the world clean technology, we can always point to Swiss and to Southern or to California. What actually makes this domain even more important is that, as you might know, US already passed about $127 billion of funds for clean tech, while a lot of these type of initiatives are still under negotiation in Europe, EU. So one thing I can say that is this, that we like to bridge that gap between at least the Swiss companies and the US companies, whether it's a legal business or it's a financial business or a startups in both locations. To do so, we have approached many different agencies in California, in Swiss. We have partnered with academics such as USC. We have connected with people who are who've been in this environment for many, many years from major companies. We work with the well-established companies as well. As Veronica mentioned, we had our first event last year in August, and we're going to have one more this year to bring these two potentials in the same room, to provide that opportunity for them to talk to each other, find the synergy that they need for their businesses to flourish. There's a lot of potential. There's a lot of new technology coming in. As Matt in the beginning of the conversation mentioned, Swiss is a big hub for the technology and for the investment. At the same time, you have California, which is really environmentally concerned about decarbonization, grid improvements, clean tech. And there's a huge potential here for the Swiss companies to find opportunities. And I can say that there's a lot of opportunities in Swiss for US companies, especially Californian companies, to invest, to hire professionals, to adopt the technology. And we hope as the Chamber of Commerce for Swiss in Southern California to provide that opportunity and move toward this collaboration and synergy with these two regions. Questions?
Let's put the questions at the end.
All right, sure.
We have Marcus Boy that actually leads the food and agri-tech domain as well. Marcus, maybe you can quickly give us a heads up.
Hi, welcome. Yes, I'm responsible for the food and agri-tech domain in the chamber, and I have been in California for 40 years. My education is agriculture and business management. And then as far as experience is, I help startup companies grow, and I'm a real estate expert in California and Nevada. I do business consulting, and I run a farm business in Kansas. We have an event coming up on February 2nd, the Food and Agri-Tech event at Cal Poly Pomona, which also is available to be joined virtually. So February 2nd at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. would be great if you guys could join us either in person or virtually. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. So now we already have heard a little bit about events, right? So what is our offering? How do we actually kind of execute on what we're going to do? How are we going to do things? So we have on one hand, we have networking events, right? To identify opportunities at the end of the day. Opportunities, no matter what industry are you coming from, right? You can be a lawyer, you can be a software engineer, you can be a CPA. Doesn't really matter. You need to understand what is your win theme in that particular kind of growth domain that we have identified and are open to add new ones. So we have these opportunity meetups in those base domains. We have chamber mixers where we team up with other chambers like Octane, like the GABA, like the Chamber of Commerce of Italy, Chamber of Commerce from the UK, the Iranian American Chamber of Commerce, for example, is coming up. So you go beyond your Swiss American horizon, you actually start to really kind of engage with other, let's say, not trade finance, but international kind of trade and business making folks. The second part is, which is also very important as much, is the social part, right? So we are putting a couple of social events in place. We have some signature events, which is the Vanguard Award Gala. We're gonna go to that later on, but also some other events are in the doing of getting more mature, and then certain eventually then are going to be rolled out. And then we have more opportunistically kind of efforts around market enablement, where we get approached by a Swiss organization that wants to showcase things in the SoCal market. So we kind of create a body around that, create an event around it, maybe invite our networks, universities, etc. So that's more kind of ad hoc, and could be a one shot. It could be something that happens every year and becomes then a more kind of planned event going forward. Now, one major thing that we promised you, right? And this is very important because nobody of us has time to waste, right? If you want to drink a glass of wine with a couple of friends, we do it in our neighborhoods. Our events are taking place in LA, in San Diego, in the Inland Empire. So there's driving involved, you invest time, and time is money. So we want to promise you that if you come to our events, you leave that events with tangible value, right? You understand what's in for you, understand the business opportunity and the commercial case for you individually or your business. You understand who do you need to talk next, right? Who are the evangelists, the drivers, the triggers in the market that you need to team up to actually somehow solidify that there is business for you, and also have a first kind of high level understanding how to tackle that, right? How could the roadmap look like, what to do next, what to discuss with your board, with your executive committee when you go back into your own company. So this is our value promise, right? We really want to make your investment making profitable, let's put it like that, going down the road. Now, how are we gonna do that? We finance ourselves through memberships, right? Of course, but we also engage corporates in either topic-related sponsorships or event-related sponsorships, right? So for the networking events like the opportunity meetups, we have companies that are in clean tech or are venture capital companies. They can engage with us, right, and get a sponsorship in place. For example, a very thought after one is the venue sponsoring. The universities that we work with us are mostly venue sponsors. They give us parts of their campus, and on the other hand, they bring out their brand to a broader audience. They have a keynote, a panelist or a moderator that actually engages with the different participants and stakeholders. So it carries out your brand to a highly proficient audience. And this is actually at the end what you want, right? You want to have your brand out in the market that stands for something in that particular context. On the other hand, for example, the Vanguard Gala that we had the first time last year, you can see underneath a little bit who has already started to engage with us. And don't forget, we were 6 months in the market and we already were able, just because the value proposition that we have, to actually be attractive for some of the most leading brands that Switzerland has out in the world, that actually said, hey, what you guys are doing, that really is key, that has value, I want to put my brand on it. And for this year, where we have a little bit more of a ramp-up time, we only had about 2 months last year. So this year it will be even more. So if you have a company that you want to put your brand out there and be in a high-quality context of doing business with Switzerland, then the Chamber will be the catalyst platform for you. Now, talking about the Vanguard Gala that you see there, right? Sorry about that. So, Veronica stopped me. I don't remember if you want to go through that slide or if it was me.
You can go ahead, no worries.
You sure?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So a lot of people say, yeah, Matt, you talk a big game, and how do you really kind of then validate that what you're actually doing with your team here, that this has actually somehow traction in the market? And very valid point. It's do good things and talk about it, right? So what we said, okay, we really want to kind of bring kind of a climax, a nucleus in our activities that we can actually celebrate once a year and kind of reward those organizations, those individuals, those enterprises that actually used or engaged with us and were able to make an impact. So we have launched this Vanguard Award, which is in partnership with the USC and the ETH Zurich, that give us kind of the academic guidance that will recognize one Southern California venture doing something business in Switzerland, and a Swiss company doing, or a Swiss venture doing business or having presence in Southern California that made the most impact in the past 12 months. And impact is about, not only commercial, right, revenue and market success. It's also about corporate citizenship. How many jobs have you created for the local community or for the market? How do you engage with the local community, right? Schools, universities, colleges, with the local government. How is your environmental footprint, right? Carbon footprint. What do you do to actually, let's say, put it like that, from an ESG perspective, right, to kind of accommodate expectations of the modern world. So, and then also kind of innovation grade, technology adaptation. So the USC and ETH will give us some good kind of governance when it comes to those metrics. And we will have this award ceremony this year then at the California Club in Los Angeles. And our sincere wish, and we know, is that if you have, as a CEO or as a evangelist, leader, whatever, the Vanguard on your shelf at home, this is really something you can be proud of, because you were a pioneer, a vanguard again, for doing business in Southern California or in Switzerland. Now, I talked a lot, so I want to actually now hand over to my colleagues in the board, because this is only going to happen with a very strong and diversified board, and everybody kind of contributes with different skill sets, different credentials and backgrounds, because at the end, the intelligence and the power of the crowd is what makes things happen. So Veronica, I start with you to give a quick kind of intro, your background, your motivation, and why you're actually engaging with us.
All right, sure. Yes, so I'm Veronica Besmer. I'm the vice chair and secretary for the chamber. I'm an attorney. I'm a general counsel for a medical device company out of Liechtenstein. Before I became a lawyer, I worked in banking and business, both in Switzerland, the banking part, and then as a project manager and business development in various startups, both in Northern California as well as here in Southern California. And as a consultant at the World Bank for a brief amount of time. And yes, so I love new ventures. I love to build up organizations. And when Matt revamped and revitalized this chamber, I was so excited, because we absolutely need this community here. There's a need for it. And so I contribute my network, my knowledge to make this bigger and great for all of us as a community, to basically come together and connect and achieve all these values and benefits that were presented before.
Thanks, Veronica. Paolo?
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, my name is Paolo Gregorini. My function within the chamber is the treasurer. I am a financial executive, was born in Switzerland. I'm 20 years in the US and was active for Swiss companies in the US, one in the industrial products area, oil and gas, power generation, and the other one in life sciences in medtech. I'm right now the CFO of a medical device startup in the Los Angeles area. The reason why I'm part of the chamber is similar to Veronica. I think if you're joining the chamber, you find an environment of extremely well-connected and seasoned individuals that have access to knowledge, number one, contacts and industries in the Southern California area. That's it.
Thank you, Paulo. I think Ronaldo is not here. Bastian, you're here, right?
Yes. Hi, everyone. So my name is Bastien Oberli. I am originally from Neuchâtel in Switzerland. I moved to the US in 2017 when I got a scholarship to play soccer and study in the US. So I recently graduated from Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles. I have done my bachelor in business management and my master's in educational studies. I am also a soccer player on the side. And so the main reason why I joined the chamber is because of the great network that everybody has, the board of directors, but also the members. And also I wanted to use the knowledge I had from my studies into real life cases. And that's something I've been doing since I'm the chief of staff, and I've been collaborating and supporting the different board of directors for the different events that we have been organizing so far.
Awesome. Thanks, Bastian. I think we have Richard is not here today. Michael.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michael Fischer. I was born and raised in Switzerland with dual nationality because of my mother. Moved then 8 years ago in Orange County and opened my own processing company, payment processing company. And I'm currently still doing so after almost a decade, helping businesses accept payments and investing quite some times right now with startups back in Southern California. The reason why I'm part of the chamber is because I believe it's just the best opportunity out there for either Swiss and American, as well with a great leader as Matt, who has a lot of experience.
Thanks for that, Michael. Phil is not here, but I saw Chris, right? There you go.
Yes, hi. Hello, everybody. My name is Christoph Basmer. I currently serve as Switzerland's trade commissioner and also head of Switzerland's investment promotion effort here in the United States. I'm based in Los Angeles. And before the current job, I co-founded and ran a foreign direct investment consulting firm. So I do have a little bit of an entrepreneurial background as well. And prior to that, I was heading the Zurich area investment promotion agency's effort here in the United States for close to a decade. And also worked for a non-governmental organization that provided consulting services for humanitarian relief organizations. And after studying entrepreneurship at USC here in Los Angeles, I also engaged in business development for and launching of startup companies in the consumer product sector, both in Europe and the US. And in general, I'm very definitely very supportive of this important effort in Southern California. There is a big need for that. And what Matt already mentioned, and I fully subscribe to this, and that it's a great opportunity now for us together to build something here that kind of marries the combination of Swiss focus on quality and detail and mix it with the American can-do mentality and entrepreneurial thinking. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. So looking at the time, we are already a little bit over. Sorry about that. So let's jump right into it. So this is at the moment how our event outlook looks like. So we have quite a decent, let's say, program, a couple of opportunity meetups, right? The first life science meetup is going to happen in end of March, most likely, together with UCI, working on that as well. We have different new ones like digital technologies and aviation, space and defense, where we're going to have meetups in the market. So there is already some good meat on the bone next to a couple of more socializing events like the Swiss Fair, right? 1st of August, for the non-Swiss here, this is the Swiss federal holiday, where we're going to have a booth with a little bit of raclette and white wine and things like that. So it's quite a balanced program for this year. And there might be more, even more to come on top of that, as I said, where we team up with other chambers. Now, and then I'm going to close from a marketing point of view. So I want to emphasize again, with the chamber here is access what you get, right? Without having access to the key players in a specific market, is it policy making? Is it business association? Is it the government? Is it enterprise, corporates, finance? You have here a couple of examples of folks like the ambassador to the United States, Mr. Jacques Bittelou, right? When else do you get the chance to have a one-on-one talk with the ambassador to the most important and biggest trade partner for Switzerland? It's the United States. It's not Germany. It's not China. It's not any. It's the United States. And having talked to the ambassador the other week at CES, he was very, very clear. The United States are going to be the absolute key partner for Switzerland from a business perspective in the next 2 decades, because everything else, what you have heard about other emerging markets, the BRICS, even the European Union, this is not going to be compared in terms of the expectations of having growth for your enterprise than to the United States. And we need to do everything to position Swiss businesses, Swiss individuals to being successful in the competition for the US markets. And having said that, when you talk to any American that has been doing business with Swiss partners, they love to do business with Switzerland. Why? Because we are reliable, we are trustworthy, we deliver on time and in the respective quality. And these are attributes that are key nowadays, right? To do business with somebody in a market that is extremely dynamic, that is a lot of transactional base, right? New ones in, new ones coming, so many new startups and whatever. But the brand Switzerland is extremely robust, is high quality, and we need to capitalize on that. And the chamber should be one of the first bodies. Maybe there are more coming we can partner with, but we need to put that first kind of trailblazing hub back into place here. Now, having said that, I want to actually now hand over to Paolo. Of course, we want to have you somehow on board if this is of interest and of value for you. So how can you engage with us, Paolo?
So how can you engage with us? So you have 3 options listed here, A, B, C. So the option A is for companies that are interested to join as an active membership for $350 yearly. And you get one representative of a corporate membership, including the voting rights. What you get with that is access to 1,700 members that are in Switzerland mainly, and in the US, and you get a yearbook with all information, a very comprehensive collection of facts and figures on the Swiss-US business relation, and access to all these members. You also have access to a private LinkedIn group dedicated to the Swiss American Chamber of Commerce, and you get this voting right at the annual general meeting if you join as a company. Then you can basically get the B membership, which is a individual membership that goes with the active membership that I mentioned just before. Or you join the pack in Southern California as a SoCal business catalyst or friend of the chamber for $99. Which doesn't come with the membership like mentioned under A, but you have the opportunity to join the community here in Southern California for a very low cost of $99 per year. And you see there the links, and I think, Matt, you're making this presentation available, right, where you get access to these links where you can sign up for a membership for this year. Thanks.
Thanks, Paolo. So actually, you get a lot of bang for your buck if you join us. Now, handing over to the audience here, what questions do you have? I'm sure there are a couple. Arne, do you have any questions?
No, but I would like to present myself very quickly. So I'm a native Dane based here in Orange County. I've been in the US 20 years. I worked 15 years for the largest US healthcare companies, Abbott, Allergan, and Kimberly-Clark. And 4 years ago, I founded ScanMed Partners, which is a California-based consulting firm that is primarily assisting and targeting what I consider clinically proven disruptive healthcare companies coming out of Scandinavia. And then we provide regulatory, clinical, and commercial qualification services for startups and younger companies. And I'm excited about the opportunity to help Swiss companies that fall in the same category. So
Excellent.
Thanks for the opportunity, Matt.
We look forward to have you engaging with us and on board with us. Thanks, Arne.
Thanks.
Good guerrilla pitch, by the way. Love it. Any other questions?
Yeah, this is Andreas here once again from last time we met. Curious, I've been vegan for almost 9 years. I'm curious about the vegan food options at your events.
What was that? Sorry about that.
Yeah, I've been curious about the vegan food options at your event. I make an amazing vegan taro fondue from the Hawaiian taro root.
You know, that's a topic we haven't touched yet. Maybe something to think about, but as food tech and agri-tech is one of our key domains, right? Alternative solutions to, you know, let's call it livestock related food and nutrition is definitely something that we care and that we engage with. So happy to explore that even more with you if you have certain ideas and thoughts on that.
Oh yeah, I do. Thank you. Thank you.
Anything else?
Hi, I just wanted to say hello to everyone. I'm Sabine Jacot. I'm from Geneva, lived in LA for 2.5 years now, and before that, 30 years in the UK. And I'm just very excited to find this network. Met you all at the Swiss Fair in August last year. And what I'd love to be able to bring is I've spent a lot of time looking at industry clusters, mainly Cambridge in the UK, and academic corporate partnerships and how sort of shared interests can be developed. My career is in corporate affairs and stakeholder engagement. So any opportunities to get involved or talk to your businesses or just build networks here is very welcome. So thank you for setting up this network, and I look forward to joining.
Thank you very much. I think, Sabine, you are the, how can I say that, the absolute role model or the perfect fit, right, to join us, given your background, and you bring a complete, you know, kind of a new additional kind of connotation of skills and background that this chapter and the chamber as such is highly welcoming to it.
Thank you. I'm very pleased to be here.
Excellent.
I have a quick question. I'm Ram, and I have a startup here which worked on clean energy solutions. And I noticed that, and we're having some conversations with Swiss energy companies. I noticed that energy wasn't one of the sectors which I know you saw clean tech solutions, but I saw space and aviation, defense, but I didn't see energy. So I thought it would be a good sector to, or if you offer additional assistance in the energy sector, it would be nice to get some information on.
You're absolutely right. I think, Arash, are you still here? I think everything that is energy related is underneath Arash's, let's say, eco-tech and clean tech umbrella, because energy could be any type of energy, right? It could be green energy, water, solar, fossil. And Arash is actually a 2-decade battle horse coming from the energy environment. So he's actually the right person for you to start engaging with.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. So if there are any other questions, I'm going to close it here. Thank you very much for participating. This was a great session. It will be recorded, available on our website. I'm going to send out the link for downloading the presentation deck from today. And then I hope, or we hope, that some, or all of you are going to join us either as a member or even as a guest in one of our events going forward this year. Thank you very much for being here and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.